Navigating the journey of aging with grace. 9 key behaviors to avoid in your golden years. Aging is a journey we all have to take, but how we navigate that journey determines the quality of our experience as we enter our later years. Many of us begin to reflect on what really matters, our relationships, our legacy, and the wisdom we've gained along the way. However, this stage of life also presents unique challenges that can affect how we are perceived by others and, more importantly, how we perceive ourselves. It's easy to fall into habits that, over time, can rob us of the dignity and respect we deserve. While physical aging is inevitable, the way we carry ourselves and interact with others is within our control. We can choose to age gracefully, nurture our relationships, and cultivate a sense of self-worth that transcends the passing years. The key is to avoid behaviors that isolate us or diminish our ability to connect with the world around us. In this expanded guide, we'll explore 9 key behaviors that can hinder our path to graceful aging, and offer insights on how to avoid them. Each point will provide deeper reflection on how to foster a more mindful, dignified approach to life as we age. 1. Monopolizes the conversation. As we age, we naturally accumulate stories, memories of our youth, lessons from our careers, moments with our families. It's easy to feel that these stories carry more weight because they're backed by decades of experience. However, one of the most common mistakes we make as we age is to dominate conversations. Sometimes without even realizing it, the desire to share our experiences can lead us to monopolize discussions, leaving little room for others to speak. This behavior can alienate friends, family, and even casual acquaintances. Younger people in particular may feel their voices are being overshadowed by older people who seem more interested in talking than listening. What's more, constantly steering conversations towards our own experiences can come across as self-centered, even when it's not. Even if it's not our intention to broaden the perspective, consider a social gathering where a group of friends or family are discussing a recent event. You may have insights from a similar experience decades ago, and the temptation to share can be strong. But before you jump in, take a moment to consider whether your contribution will add to the conversation or simply bring the focus back on you. There is value in allowing others, especially younger generations, to share their perspectives without feeling overshadowed. What's more, active listening, truly engaging with what others are saying, shows respect and fosters deeper connections. By giving others the space to speak, you not only enrich the conversation, but also create an environment in which they feel valued. Listening is a form of generosity, and it's often more powerful than the stories we tell. Practical approach: if you find yourself dominating conversations, consider setting a mental limit on how much you contribute. For example, after sharing a story, make a conscious effort to ask others about their thoughts and experiences. Cultivating a reputation as someone who listens more than speaks is a hallmark of wisdom. The ability to step back, observe and listen deeply to others is often more powerful than sharing your own story. It signals humility, patience, and a genuine interest in those around you. As you get older, aim to become a conversationalist who enriches the conversation. We all want to be proud of our achievements, our families, and our successes, but as we age there is a fine line between sharing our pride and coming across as boastful. Unfortunately, many older adults fall into the habit of excessive bragging, whether it's about their personal achievements, their wealth, or, most often, their children or grandchildren. This is especially true when we boast about things that others may be struggling with, such as family, health, or financial success. What we see as a source of pride may be a source of pain or insecurity for someone else. Imagine sitting with a friend who's had a difficult life, perhaps facing financial hardship, or whose children are constantly struggling. Bringing up your own children's successes or financial stability can unintentionally create distance. While you may not mean any harm, it can make your friend feel inadequate or resentful. This doesn't mean you should hide your pride, but it does mean that you need to be aware of how and when you share it. Bragging can also reflect deeper insecurities. The need to constantly seek validation from others can indicate that we are not as confident in our achievements as we appear to be. As it turns out, people who are genuinely confident about their achievements don't feel the need to bring them up in every conversation. they let their lives speak for themselves. Practical approach: instead of focusing on what you've achieved, try shifting the focus to what you've learned. Share stories that highlight lessons rather than successes. For example, instead of saying my children are so successful, you might say I've learned so much about patience. This not only conveys humility, but also invites others to reflect on their own experiences more deeply. The most capable people are often those who don't need to boast. Their achievements are evident in the way they carry themselves, the way they treat others, and the quiet confidence they exude. One of the more subtle pitfalls of aging is the tendency to become set in our ways, including how we judge others with decades of life experience behind us. It's easy to feel that we've seen it all and can quickly judge people on first impressions, but this kind of snap judgment can close us off to meaningful relationships and limit our understanding of the people around us as we age. As we get older, we may be more likely to judge others based on superficial characteristics, appearance, age, background, or even political views. While this may seem harmless, it can actually be a barrier to forming deep, lasting connections with people who could enrich our lives. It also perpetuates stereotypes and prejudices that prevent us from seeing people for who they really are. How did that make you feel? Consider that you may be doing the same to others, even unintentionally. Every person has a unique story, and first impressions often fail to capture the complexity of that story. Instead of relying on initial judgments, make a conscious effort to get to know people on a deeper level. Listen without preconceived notions, and give them the space to reveal who they really are. This approach will not only help you build stronger relationships, but also challenge your own biases, leading to personal growth. Practical approach: the next time you meet someone new, try to reserve judgment rather than mentally categorizing them based on their appearance or what little you know about them. These types of questions invite deeper conversations and allow you to see the person behind the first impression. Wisdom isn't just about knowing, it's about understanding, and true understanding comes from listening, observing, and withholding judgment. As we age, cultivating a mindset of openness rather than certainty can help us make more authentic connections with others and keep our minds sharp and receptive to new experiences. It's true that our character and kindness are far more important than our superficial appearance, but neglecting our appearance altogether can have unintended consequences, not only in how others perceive us, but also in how we feel about ourselves. Taking care of our appearance is not about clinging to youth, but about maintaining self-respect and dignity. When we stop caring about how we look, it can affect our self-esteem, leading to feelings of inadequacy. In addition, the way we present ourselves sends a message to the world about our attitude. A neat, well-groomed appearance suggests that we are well looked after. A well-groomed appearance suggests that we are engaged in life and still take pride in ourselves, whereas a neglected appearance can signal withdrawal or apathy and a lack of perspective. Think about how you feel after a fresh haircut or when you put on a nice outfit. There's a sense of renewal, a boost of confidence that comes from looking your best. Now imagine you see a friend you haven't seen in years. You haven't seen them in years, they've stopped taking care of themselves, their clothes are worn, their hair is unkempt. What kind of impression does that leave? It's important to remember that taking care of our appearance is not about vanity. It's about preserving our sense of self and showing others that we still care about the life we're living. Even small efforts like wearing clean, well-fitting clothes or keeping up with basic grooming. If you've fallen into the habit of neglecting your appearance, start with small changes. Perhaps it's time to revisit the barber or hairdresser, or perhaps you could invest in a few new pieces of clothing that make you feel good. Even a little self-care can go a long way to boosting your confidence and maintaining your dignity as you get older. Respect. By taking care of your appearance, you're not only maintaining how others see you, you're also nurturing your own sense of worth and pride. It's a simple but powerful way to remind yourself that you're still engaged in life, no matter how many years have passed. 5. Expecting respect without earning it. There was a time when simply reaching a certain age automatically earned you respect, but times have changed. And respect is no longer something that is given purely on the basis of seniority. Younger generations in particular are more independent in their thinking and often challenge traditional hierarchies of respect. As older adults, we may feel frustrated when we aren't treated with the deference we feel we deserve. However, it's important to recognize that respect is earned, not demanded. If we expect younger people to respect us simply because we're older, we risk alienating them or coming across as out of touch. True respect comes from how we treat others, regardless of age. Broaden your perspective. Imagine walking into a room and assuming that because of your age, everyone will automatically defer to you. It's easy to feel slighted or disrespected, but instead of expecting others to show us respect, we must first show them respect by listening to their perspectives, being open to new ideas and showing kindness and understanding. Just as we want younger people to respect our years of experience, we also need to respect their insights, their independence, and their contributions to the world. By approaching others with humility and a willingness to learn as well as teach, we create an atmosphere of mutual respect that benefits everyone. Practical approach: the next time you interact with a younger person, try to set aside any expectations of automatic respect and focus instead on building a relationship based on mutual understanding and kindness. Respect is something we cultivate through our actions, not something we are entitled to simply because of our age. By treating others, regardless of their age, with the same respect we hope to receive, we create stronger, more meaningful relationships, and in doing so, we earn the kind of respect that lasts. 6. Holding grudges. Over the years, it's easy to accumulate grudges, whether from family disputes, old friendships that ended badly, or even misunderstandings that never got resolved. Yet many older adults find it difficult to let go of past hurts, believing that forgiveness means letting others off the hook. But holding grudges only hurts us. It keeps us stuck in the past, unable to move forward and enjoy the present. Forgiveness, on the other hand, is a gift we give ourselves, allowing us to release the emotional baggage that weighs us down and make room for new, positive experiences. Think of a grudge you've held for years, perhaps against a family member, a friend, or even a colleague. How has holding on to that anger or resentment affected your life? Has it brought you peace, or has it kept you from fully enjoying your relationships and experiences? Now imagine what it would feel like to let go of that grudge, to forgive not because the other person deserves it, but because you deserve peace. Forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting or excusing hurtful behavior. It means choosing to move on, to put your own well-being before the need for retribution. If you're holding a grudge, take time to consider whether it's serving you. Consider writing a letter to the person involved, not to send, but to express your feelings and begin the process of letting go. By acknowledging your pain and choosing forgiveness, you free yourself from the emotional burden that's weighing you down. Life is too short to carry the weight of past hurts. By choosing forgiveness, you are choosing to live with a lighter heart and clearer mind. Letting go of resentment is one of the most powerful steps you can take towards emotional freedom and peace in your later years. 7. Resisting change. One of the challenges of aging is the tendency to become resistant to change. We've spent decades building routines, forming opinions, and establishing our way of life as our own. As a result, we may find it difficult to adapt to new ideas, technologies, or ways of thinking, but resisting change can isolate us from the world around us and prevent us from staying connected and engaged with life. Change is inevitable, and while it can be uncomfortable, it also brings new opportunities for growth and connection, whether it's learning to use new technology, trying a new hobby, or embracing a new lifestyle. Think about the changes you've resisted in recent years. Whether it's learning to use a smartphone, adopting new habits, or adapting to societal changes. What has been the effect of that resistance? Has it kept you from staying connected to the people and things that matter to you now? People and things that matter most to you now. Consider what it would be like to embrace these changes instead of seeing them as threats to your way of life. See them as opportunities for growth and learning. By staying open to change, you stay engaged with the world around you and continue to grow as a person no matter what your age. Practical approach: if you're struggling with change, start small. Whether it's learning a new skill, trying a different routine or opening yourself up to new ideas. By gradually embracing change, you'll find that it becomes less daunting and more rewarding. Adaptability is a key to aging gracefully. By staying open to change, you keep your mind sharp, your spirit flexible, and your connection strong. It's about staying fully engaged in life, no matter what stage you're at. 8. Avoid emotional vulnerability. As we age, it's common to become more guarded with our emotions. We may have experienced loss, disappointment, or hurt over the years, and the instinct to protect ourselves by keeping our feelings inside can become stronger. However, avoiding emotional vulnerability can prevent us from forming deep, meaningful relationships. Vulnerability is not a sign of weakness, it is a sign of strength and emotional maturity. By opening ourselves up to others, we create the possibility of deeper connections, greater understanding, and stronger relationships. Vulnerability allows us to express our true selves rather than hiding behind walls of self-protection. Think about the relationships in your life that matter most. How have they been affected by your willingness or unwillingness to be emotionally open? Have you held back for fear of being hurt, only to find that the distance has grown? Now consider what it would feel like to allow yourself to be vulnerable with the people you trust, to share your fears, your hopes, and your feelings without fear of judgment. Practical approach: if you've been avoiding emotional vulnerability, start by sharing something small with someone you trust. It could be a fear, a regret, or a hope for the future. By taking this step, you'll begin to build the kind of emotional connections that bring meaning and fulfillment to your later years. Deeper takeaway: emotional vulnerability is the key to deep, meaningful relationships. By allowing yourself to be open and honest with the people you care about, you create space for true connection and understanding. As we grow older, it's natural to look back fondly on the past, to long for the good old days when life seemed simpler, more predictable, and full of opportunity. However, becoming too attached to the past can prevent us from living fully in the present. It can create a sense of dissatisfaction with where we are now, and prevent us from embracing where we are. While it is important to honor and cherish our memories, it is equally important to remain open to the present and the future. Life continues to offer new opportunities for growth, connection, and joy, even as we age. By focusing too much on the past, we risk missing out on the beauty and richness of the life we still have. Think about a memory you hold dear. Perhaps it's a time in your youth when anything seemed possible. While these memories are precious, they can also create a sense of nostalgia that prevents you from seeing the possibilities that exist in the here and now. Now consider how it would feel to shift your focus from the past to the present, to embrace the possibilities that still lie ahead. Rather than dwelling on what's behind you, by living fully in the present, you open yourself up to new experiences, new relationships, and new joys. Practical approach: if you find yourself dwelling too much on the past, try to set aside time each day to focus on the present, to engage in activities that bring you joy now, whether it's spending time with loved ones, exploring a new hobby, or simply enjoying a new experience. By actively participating in the present, you will find that life continues to offer meaning and fulfillment, no matter how old you are. Deeper takeaway: the past is a part of who we are, but it does not define who we can become. By letting go of excessive attachment to the past, we free ourselves to live fully in the present. Aging gracefully is about finding balance, honoring the past, while remaining fully engaged in the life that is still unfolding before us. Thank you for watching the whole video. If you find these stories inspiring and motivating, please leave a comment. If you don't, your feedback means a lot to us. Thank you for your valuable time.